For more than 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter in our community. From our studios in St. Clair, you're watching Focus with Paul Dingeman.
Well, hello again. Welcome back to the Focus set. My name is Paul Dingeman. Glad to have you along. It's almost the end of September and the beginning of October, and in a very short month, the national election will be held on November the 4th, right? 3rd. November the 3rd. So we have decided to bring along an expert by the name of Annette Sturdy, who is the city clerk and of the city of St. Clair, and give us sort of a background of all this stuff that we're reading about and hearing about in the press about mail-in ballots and absentee ballots and what is what and what is what. Annette, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Nice to see you here.
Thank you.
I ran a list here from Devin Skillion from Channel 4 that was on TV the other day, and he had some great questions. And let's begin first by saying, what is going on?
That's what a lot of clerks are saying, but have faith in us. We know what's going on as far as processing the ballots. We're ready for in-person voting on November 3rd. So I'm here to answer any questions you have on the process.
And you communicate with Kristen Baxter down in Marine City,
yes.
With the clerks at the townships and other clerks around the county. And you have meetings, you share information.
We do. We have a great resource, the St. Clair County Clerks Association. We have constant communication with the county clerk's office, with their election administration team. We talk amongst ourselves. We have weekly bulletins from the Bureau of Elections.
Wow.
So we are constantly updated with everything going on.
Okay, let's talk about what is an absentee voter ballot in Michigan. What is it?
An absentee voter ballot is a way for somebody to vote if they can't make it to the polls on election day. So as of 2018, there was a proposal passed by the majority of voters that allows anyone to request one. You don't have to say why you want it. If you would like to vote absentee, you fill out the application, and then you are mailed a ballot.
Previous years, you had to be sick, was going to be out of town, those kinds of things, and you had to make these
Exactly. You had to choose a reason. Yeah, it was on the application. You had to choose and explain why you needed the ballot. Now you don't.
Okay. And the next, filling out a Michigan absentee ballot, voter ballot for the 2020 election. Is it difficult? Let me go back before that question. How do I get one?
Okay, you can get an application for a ballot either at your local clerk's office, or you can go online at michigan.gov/vote. There's a couple questions that you answer, so you get the right clerk's office, so you send it into the right place. You can bring it in person, you can scan it and email it, you can mail it in. So there's lots of avenues to get the application, and then once it's verified, you'll receive your ballot.
How is it verified?
When the application comes into the clerk's office, first we check to make sure that that voter is registered in our jurisdiction. We have what's called a qualified voter file. So we check to make sure that you're in our municipality. We check to make sure that the address is the same that you wrote down on it. And we verify your signature against the signature that you provided, you being the voter, at the Secretary of State's office when you applied for your driver's license.
Oh, it's the same one as your driver's license?
Yes, it's the same one as your driver's license or voter ID card or whatever government issued photo ID you have.
So if I move, as I did this last time, if I move from a city to a township and they check my signature, it's going to be, they're going to have it.
They will have it, yes.
Cool.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's how we verify it's you, and we're not bona fide experts, but you can tell a person's signature. There's several tells. If we are unsure, we contact you. We do. We hopefully you put your phone number and email on that application, and we contact you and try to rectify it. And if we can't, then you don't get a ballot.
Okay, so now I've applied, and I've got my ballot comes in the mail, and what happens?
I brought a sample of what your ballot will look like. So your ballot comes in
let me hold this one up.
Let's do this.
Let me hold this one up to the camera here so they get a good picture. This is what I'm going to see in my mailbox.
Yes, it's blue and white. This is what you will receive. The entire state of Michigan has the same envelope.
Good.
Blue and white. So
All right.
yes, there's
All
the
right, so
return
that-
address on it that says City of St. Clair. We ordered these specifically here in the City of St. Clair, so it has our specific address on there.
Okay.
So you'll get this. Inside, that green and white envelope is what you will return. So once you vote your ballot, you'll put it in that green and white envelope. On the back of the envelope,
One moment, please.
in that highlighted area, is where you have to provide your signature. That is what is very, very important. You must have your
Get my
signature on
fingers
that
out of the way
ballot.
here. Okay.
So we check for that. Again, if the signature's not on there, we make every attempt to contact you to get the signature so we can count your ballot.
Okay, so let's go again. Once you we'll get into the ballot in a second, but once you complete the ballot, you put it back in this envelope,
Yes.
all right? And then on the back of that envelope, what I need you to do is turn it over and make sure you sign it.
Yes. Yes. And each one of these envelopes will have pre-addressed on there your name and address for a return address there. So on the
So-
front, it's addressed to the City
Oh,
of
and,
St. Clair.
and over here
Yeah.
will be my name or the township or city's name.
Yes. It'll be the
No.
voter's name and address. So when we open that, we know whose it is and we can correspond the number on it.
And get the
And
number.
get-
and
yes. We verify that with the application signature to make sure they match.
So this is what's going back after you complete the ballot.
Yes.
Now, let's this next envelope. What's this one?
This manila envelope is called the secrecy sleeve. That is what
Secrecy sleeve. Oh, I like that.
Yes, top secret.
Yes,
it literally is secret until
Well,
we
that's
open
right, because
it.
it's your ballot.
Yes. it is
Nobody
your
else's ballot.
Nobody else's ballot. Yeah.
Okay, so this is the secrecy envelope, and I get this and I take the ballot out, right?
Yes.
Or do you want me to stop?
Yep. No, go ahead. Take it
Okay.
out. A couple things to point out about the ballot, if you want to talk about that
Yep.
now. In this particular election, on the front page of the ballot is the partisan section.
Let me open it up all the way.
Yep.
There we go.
The sample ballot. So again, every city township has a couple sample ballots if you want to come look at it and have one, a hard copy one.
So we're getting to the, you can vote a straight party if you want to vote a Democrat, Republican, whatever party you want.
Yes.
And let's keep going down that side, fellas. Yeah. Okay, you get the partisan section. Then you go into the presidential. Okay.
So what's nice about the ballot here for the City of St. Clair is the entire front side is the partisan section, which means it's by political party. So you have a choice. You can either choose straight party ticket, which is that first box there, and then it will vote for everybody under that political party. You don't have to do anything else to the front of that ballot if you don't want to.
So coming down, I've got the president, then I've got the senator, is that right?
Yes.
There's another one.
Yes.
And then the congressman. And then, what's after? I can't read.
There's some representatives in the 81st district, and then we move into state boards.
Up on the top again.
So
Go
yes,
back
I'm
up
in
to
the
the
second row. Yep, so we have some state boards, University of Michigan, Michigan State, Wayne State, and now I'm in the third column.
Okay.
The very bottom of the third column is when we get into the county races. So we have a couple of county races up for vote right
Judges,
now.
a prosecuting
Yeah.
attorney, okay.
Well, these are no judges on this side because this is the partisan section. So
Okay.
this is, again, political party.
Okay.
So that covers everything here. So interesting to note, which this might get a little confusing to some people, but if you want to vote straight party, and as I said, if you pick straight party, you don't have to do anything else on the front of this ballot. But if there is a particular race that you want to vote an opposite political party, you can do that and it will count.
Oh,
So you can choose straight
that
party.
new?
It fluctuates whether it's a closed ticket or a mixed party ticket for this particular election. So no, it's not new. It just, you're allowed to do it for this election.
so now I'm on
So-
the back side.
So now we're on the back side, which is the nonpartisan section. And again, it's nice because the entire back side is nonpartisan. So it's very important to read the directions for each race because it tells you how many people you can vote for. So for instance, the very first race is judicial for Supreme Court. It says vote for not more than 2. So if you vote for 1, that's fine. If you vote for 2, that's fine. If you vote for any more than 2, it will invalidate that race.
Oh.
So don't do that.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's important to read the
Read the
directions.
top, yeah.
Yep. Under each one, it tells you how many you can vote for.
So I ruined my ballot. So I would ruin my ballot for presidential and Congress and everything else if I make a mistake on that particular office?
No. If you make a mistake on that particular office will not be counted.
Okay.
All your valid votes will still count.
Okay. All right.
But when you put it in the tabulator, it'll tell you made an error, so it's up to you to decide if you want to fix that one race or if you want to submit it as
Oh, you'll be
is.
able to correct it.
Yeah.
And the bell goes off, ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely
All
a
right, so
noise.
we're going down the nonpartisan section, judicial, and we're still coming down. Okay, we're through that one, and then the next courts, more courts, and keep coming down, and we are at my coffee cup. We'll get that out of the way. All right, and then okay, now we're back up to the top of this next column of column 2, and there we get into the community college election, then the city or township candidates that are up for commissioners or councilmen or whatever, or trustees.
Yes.
That would be in this section. And then the local school board, what is that one?
Looks like
Oh,
there's
the
a
school
couple
board.
seats for the school board
Okay, I didn't
up
know
this
that.
term. So those are listed there too, considered local, nonpartisan.
And another one there. And then the last column on this side is,
There's 2 proposals. These are state proposals. And that's the end of the ballot.
okay, so now I've taken my time. And one of the things I personally like about absentee ballots is I can take it home and I can put it at the kitchen table and I can take my cell phone and look up names that I don't know, because I never knew who to vote for University of Michigan region or Michigan State region. At least I got some time to take a look at their names and say, hey, I like this guy, I don't like that guy, or woman, or whatever. So that's personally why I like to vote absentee. But
Yeah, it's definitely a benefit to take your time. You get your ballot at home, you can take your time, you can vote it. Just make sure you return it by 8 p.m. on election day.
okay, to that end. So now I've finished it. So what do I do next?
So you're all finished. So you fold it back up.
Fold it back up. I fold it the right way. Did I
Yep,
fold it the right way?
Fold it back up.
Yeah.
It's okay if it's not correct.
Then
Put
I
it-
get, this is the secret envelope.
the secret envelope. So put it back in the secrecy sleeve.
Okay.
And what that does, it just leaves the very top and there's a ballot number on there. So that's all we see when we open it.
Okay.
Oh, it's backwards, but that's okay.
It's backwards?
Yeah.
What did I do? Is that the right way here?
But that's okay if you put it in backwards because we would fix it. No, switch it this way. This way.
Oh, okay.
But that's okay if it's not in
Yeah, I have to be
correctly.
trained here.
We'll fix it when we get it. So you put the ballot back in the secrecy sleeve. And you
If you're
put it,
more ambidextrous than I am. Okay, now I'm ready.
Yes, so that's ready to go. Then you put it in the green and white envelope.
Now I take the second envelope,
Yes.
the mailback envelope, and I take it, shove that in there.
Yep.
Okay, and then
Yep.
close the top.
Seal
and
it up.
Seal it up, okay, boom, all right. And drop it either in the mailbox
Yep.
or at your city clerk's office or treasurer or township clerk's office. They'll probably have a drop box.
Yes.
There's one here in front of City St. Clair,
Yes.
and you can do it that way. But the key, most important thing is to make sure that you sign this back.
Yes. That is one of the most important parts of that envelope is to make sure you sign it.
Okay?
Yes.
So now I've taken this and it comes to you.
It comes directly to me. Yes.
And what happens then?
Yep. So we receive the ballot, we pull up your application, we match the signatures again.
Okay, so you do that before
Yes.
you even do
Yeah.
a next step.
Yes. Yep. As soon as we get the ballot, there's a ballot number written on it. So we pull up your application, we look at your application, we check the signatures. If it matches, then we go to our qualified voter file, our software program, and we receive the ballot. So electronically, it's received at that moment. So if you go on the website where you can track your ballot, so to speak.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What's that website?
So we'll mention that too. The website is michigan.gov/vote. And so you can see you sent your application was received, your ballot was mailed, and then when your ballot is received. So you'll know that it reaches us.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that's
Cool.
that's somewhat new.
Yeah. All right.
Yep. So then, after we have received it and we think everything matches, then it's literally locked in a cabinet. So it's put in a cabinet. It's locked until Election Day.
What if it doesn't match?
If it doesn't match, again, we try to contact the voter, and we'll invite you into City Hall to sign in front of us if we need to. I've only had that happen once, and the person did come in and sign it. So thankfully, we're a smaller municipality. We don't have too many issues. Thankfully, I know most of our permanent voters just by name and how many elections we've had here. So.
And that's probably similar in Marine City and the townships, East China Township and St. Clair Township, Cotterville Township, the areas that CTV serves, so that you can feel comfortable in knowing that your clerk knows you.
Yes, and we all follow the same process. It's election law, it's how it is. So everything we explained here, that's exactly how everybody else does it.
Okay, absentee ballots are not new. They've been around for a long time, but there's been a big influence or impression, or what's the word I'm looking for? Big impetus to use them in the last years, or 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
This last primary election, did you have an increase in the amount of ballots that were requested, and how many were returned?
We did. Here in the city of St. Clair, we did have, it was at least double of how many that were requested and how many ballots we issued. I think I wrote that number down. Nope, I actually brought 2016 stats, but we did. We had at least double the amount of absent voter ballots. The day ran very smooth.
Round figure, how many?
I think we had almost 800.
Okay.
For a primary election, that's a big deal. That's a high voter turnout just for a primary election.
How
just
many
with
would
the
you
AV.
have normally had?
Maybe about 300, maybe
okay,
400.
so that's a substantial increase.
So, yeah, and there was a lot of information out there, so people were more aware of it, I think, was a big thing. Plus, of course, the COVID-19 pandemic we're dealing with. A lot of people didn't want to leave their homes, so it was a good option for people to have and to be aware of it.
Okay, so what have we missed here?
We talked about how to get a ballot.
Right.
We talked about what to do when you receive your ballot. We talked about, you can mail it back. So we have a secure drop box outside of City Hall that's locked and filmed, so it's under video. And another just interesting thing for the state of Michigan, municipalities throughout the state of Michigan have received drop boxes, and these are new for this election because of the influx of absent voter ballots. So I would say a majority of municipalities have locked drop boxes that you can put your ballots in, so you don't have to enter the building and you don't have to have postage on it. Oh, that's interesting to know. It does take extra postage. So if you're putting it through United States Postal Mail, then it does take extra postage. I believe it's 71 cents, but I haven't weighed it yet to see. So I would say, take it to your post office and make sure you have the right postage on it.
Or bring it in here for free.
Bring it in here for free.
Or your normal local clerk.
Yep.
Okay, I had another question. Remember, I was upstairs, I asked you, but now I forget that question.
I think you wanted to compare 2016 to 2020.
Yeah.
So some interesting things, so I pulled up the reports, and it is very interesting to me, these numbers are, I think. So right now, September 24th, we've already received 1,230 applications for ballots, which is how many we will issue then. So we still have a month to go before the election. Okay, so we've already received 1,230.
How many registered voters do you have, round figure?
I actually looked that up too. We have 4,455.
So that's substantial.
Yeah, we're at like 27% right now, which is unbelievable. So in 2016, total for the whole election, there was 784.
Wow.
Right? So I think that's pretty amazing. And voter turnout is something that I think is interesting too, and you and I chatted a little bit about that. So I think we will surpass our voter turnout, which in 2016 was the highest that I've seen as an administrator, just in my 7 years, was 71%.
In the city of St. Clair, 71% of the voters?
Yes. So whether it was in person or absentee, 71% of people voted in 2016, which is pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
So I think we're well on the way to surpass that, which is exciting as a clerk.
As a clerk and in the associations you have with other clerks around the state and the nation, is there a lot of bad ballots that don't get counted?
I would answer that no. Just going with what I know, again, in our municipality, for instance, in August, we had 7 ballots received after 8 p.m. on Election Day.
Oh,
So,
7.
So only 7. Yes, only
Now,
7.
were those ballots, those were all absentee ballots?
They were absentee ballots.
Out of the 1,100?
Out of the 800.
800.
Yeah.
So there were 7 out of 800. Go ahead.
Yes, yeah, that came after Election Day for whatever reason. But I actually noted the postmarks because of all of the information out there, and they were postmarked July 31st through Election Day. So the expectation to receive it, I think, was pretty slim. I would have walked it in if it was my ballot, but so do I think there's an expectation of ballots not reaching City Hall? Yes, a slight one, but I don't think it would impact any race in the city of St. Clair because it's such a small number. So.
Okay. Then ballots that get spoiled. Talk to me about those.
Okay, so you can spoil an AV ballot. If you receive your ballot by mail and you change your mind, or a candidate drops out, which has happened before, you can receive a new ballot. If you surrender your original ballot and you have to sign an affidavit. So the motto is one voter, one ballot, always. So in the event of a spoiled ballot, you do get another one, but you have to give back your original one. So you can spoil your ballot, which means you changed your mind or made a mistake.
I get my
I
get my absentee ballot, and I make a big mistake on it. Hit 2 boxes and whatever my mistake. I can bring this to you before the election,
Before Election Day. You can't do it on Election Day. It has to be before Election Day.
and I can say surrender this ballot.
Yes.
You'll make all the notes that this is returned and turned in, and then you'll give me a new ballot. So I can't vote twice.
You can't vote twice, and we actually don't say we returned it. It's actually called a spoiled ballot.
Okay.
So it won't be confused with the ballots we've received and will count. It's a spoiled ballot, so it's locked separately, kept in a separate area, and never opened and never tabulated.
Okay. I think we got most of it, don't we?
Yeah, I feel good. I like giving out information and facts, and contact your local clerk. We're the best resource. We know what's going on in the legislature. We know what's.
Oh, that was the other one. While we're talking, they're voting in Lansing about changing a bill or submitting a bill that would affect the count of the absentee ballots. Talk to us about that.
Yes. My understanding of this current legislation is to allow clerks to start the process of counting absent voter ballots before Election Day. So I believe, as written, it's 10 a.m. the day before Election Day, which would allow election inspectors under oath to start opening the ballots to get them ready for processing, which means taking them out of this outer envelope, which this outer envelope has no information on it. Yeah.
Okay, so what you receive before the election is this ballot. You got this from the drop box or from the U.S. mail?
That's what the voter receives.
No, but they've submitted it to you.
Yes, yes.
And it's the Friday before the election day.
Yes.
What this is going to allow you is on Monday before the election at 10 a.m. you can open this ballot.
Well, no, let's backtrack. So take it out of the blue envelope, because we don't get the blue envelope. We get the green envelope.
Oh, okay.
So now the ballot's at the clerk's office.
Okay.
This is what the clerk has.
And I'll remind everybody they've signed the back.
Yes, signed the back, yeah.
All right.
So that is what's in the clerk's office.
All right.
So what it will allow us to do is to open that.
You can then open this and take the ballot out.
Yep, take the ballot out, keeping it in the secrecy sleeve.
Okay.
Yep, and then I don't know if the legislature allows us to go any further than that. The next step would be to take the ballot out, and there's a stub on the top of the ballot.
Up here on the top.
Yeah. So you would actually take the ballot out, you'd smooth it out, You'd remove the stub, and then it would be ready to go into the tabulator, which is the machine that counts the ballots.
Okay. So they're voting on that as you and I speak, so we don't have an answer on that, but there is a possibility that the clerks, in order to speed up the process and not be processing absentee ballots all day Tuesday, will be able to at least open the envelopes and save one step.
Yes, and believe it or not, these steps, each step it takes time.
Right.
So the seconds add up, and when you have, again, I expect maybe 1,500 ballots. Other municipalities have 20,000, 30,000,
Yeah.
so every second matters. So to allow them to open, and I say allow them because this legislature, as written, is for population of 25,000 or more.
Oh, okay, so it doesn't necessarily affect us.
Yeah, it wouldn't affect us right now unless they change something while it's being discussed. But it would help those larger municipalities prepare.
Yeah, just opening
Yeah, just literally
20,000
opening the envelope. Yeah.
be a lot of time.
Yeah, and sometimes they're taped,
Yeah.
so it takes a while to open them up.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Well, we salute you and your fellow clerks in the area for
you.
all the hard work that you're doing and how honest you are and what you're trying to accomplish and to keep democracy alive. And it's a wonderful thing to watch and a wonderful thing to see. And there's a lot of excitement to it, too.
there is. It's very
It's like a horse race.
self-fulfilling. Yeah, you're part of the process. So even by voting this way, you're part of a different process. But election day is exciting, and clerks like what we do, and we're challenged every day, but we get it done. So contact your local clerk if you have any questions. Check michigan.gov/vote to track your ballot. And just another reminder, polls are open in person. They will be open 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. on election day.
Okay.
So you have a choice.
And the website to check everything is michigan.gov/vote.
/vote. Yes.
That's a simple one.
Yeah.
Michigan.gov/vote.
Yes.
Annette Sturdy, the city clerk of the city of St. Clair, thank you so much for helping us understand what's going on.
Thank you for having me. My pleasure.
Not a problem. That's about it for this edition of the Focus program. Thanks very much for tuning in. And make sure you get your envelope and get it filled out and get it back to your local clerk. And enjoy your voting this time. It's going to be a fun thing to watch. See you next time.
Thanks for watching Focus with Paul Dingeman. Focus is produced at the CTV Community Television Studios in St. Clair. For over 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter to our community.